Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This is my top 10 stocks as we head into Thursday, May 22nd. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you are someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple of clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see moving around right here is moving around because the market is still open for a small amount of time. And I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really, interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So ticker symbol number one, QBTS. Been following this one very, very closely and finally decided to act human a little bit. And well, I guess technically speaking, it did put in a higher high today, but nothing too explosive like it's been doing the past few days. So that does not mean that anything's wrong or that the chart's broken or anything like that. Nothing can go straight up. But ultimately speaking, from a bigger picture standpoint, the price and chart is doing just fine as the price is still at much higher levels compared to where it was previously. So, I mean, you look at where it was, or I should say where it is kind of right now, then you look at where it was previously, and then even more on and so forth. And clearly this area is higher than that one. So from a trend building standpoint, that's what it's all about. As far as areas of resistance are concerned, this level here that I talked about in yesterday's video at 1750 remains the key battleground. There was a faulty little break of it right there that didn't last too long before coming back down. And then on the flip side of things, that 1525 mark that I talked about as support, you can see right there, did ultimately do a good job of holding strong. So right now the price just essentially chopping back and forth within this area. Now if the price were to break down below the 1525 mark, still not the end of the world. You have the 50-period moving average. You have some form areas right here that could act as support. So point being, there's the path of least resistance is in the upwards direction. I'm not saying the price can't totally reverse around, but there would be a lot of support levels that the bears would need to press down through. We're on the flip side of things as far as what the bulls need to push through, really just that level right there. So sure, if you're a day trader and you bought right there and your plan was to buy and sell within 5 minutes, from that angle, yeah, the chart looks really bad. But assuming you care about the big picture point of view, everything is still perfectly fine. Next one here, taking a look at EDBL. Mapped out this bullish pattern yesterday, and you can see got a whole lot of follow through. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and delete those lines down there as they serve their purpose for now. And pretty much the same exact pattern, just at a higher area. So let's just map out this pattern here. And this is nothing that's fancy. You got to think a lot of people are watching it. And when I map out, or when I make that comment, I just say that because when a lot of people are watching the same levels and wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy card if you want. It can produce some very dynamic movements. So let me move that down a little bit more there. And then just to make sure that we can all see the pattern, let's keep it all the same color here. So we have our resistance, we have our support, we have the big upwards move right there. We have the golf hole down here, and this would be a bull pennant pattern. Again, just because something's bullish does not mean for sure guaranteed that the price is going to go upwards. But going back to the whole idea of self-fulfilling prophecies and a lot of people watching it, not guaranteed, but more than valid to think that if the price goes up there and breaks through there, people could very well say, hey, I'm a breakout trader. Oh, look, that's breaking out. Oh, I'm a breakout trader. That's breaking out. Therefore, I'm supposed to buy. So they just buy for no other reason other than it's breaking out. So no, that does not mean that it'll for sure get more momentum, but it's certainly a valid question and thought to throw out there. So can this get a continued bullish breakout up through the bull pennant pattern? We'll see what happens. Next one here, GNLN, and pretty straightforward in terms of, well, in my opinion, at least very straightforward. And that will be the two key moving averages. We have the main area of support, that purple line right there. You can see it actually behaved as support right there, that purple line at 0062. And then the main area of resistance, sure, the price started off above it, but as soon as it dropped back below that pink line right there, you can see the price has really respected it quite a bit. And that's right now valid at 0073. So pretty straightforward, cut and dry on this one. Very well-defined levels. And then going back to that whole idea of those self-fulfilling prophecies, not guaranteed, but is it valid to think that if the price were to come up there and break through that level, that break in and of itself could create additional buying pressure? That is certainly a valid scenario. But really like these cut and dry scenarios. Very well-defined resistance, very well-defined support. But yeah, right now it's creeping up. Is it going to do battle with the 200-period moving average on Thursday? And can it push up through there? Grab your popcorn. Next one, WOLF. And this is one where very rough on the gap down. Price came down here and then finally started to work its way back upwards. So it's got some upwards movement. Is there any sort of true power behind this movement? I have no idea, but by using charts, we can make answering that question very straightforward. And in my mind, it all revolves around this area right here at the 95 cent mark. And no fancy logic other than the fact of price movements with genuine power are going to at least show signs of progress in the upward direction. Not go straight up, nothing goes straight up, but at least show signs of progress. So if the price were to come down here, behave like this, and then curl back upwards, what would you have? Well, you'd have a set of lows right here. You'd have lows down here if you envision those as stair steps. And now you'd have some stair steps progressing in the upwards direction. And that's what it's all about, just showing signs of progress. Now, I realize that me just saying show signs of progress are just words, but that's why I love charts, is because they allow you to take words and then make them very, you can define words. So when I say, quote unquote, make progress, 95 cents is that key level. On the flip side of things, if the price continues on up, main battleground right now, it seems, going to be right up there around the $1.40 mark, so keep an eye on that. But yes, brutal day today. Good bounce. Can this bounce continue to show those signs of progress and keep working higher and higher? We'll see what happens. Next one, NVDA. A brutal move today. Just from really any angle. I mean, the price came up here, broke up through this key area of resistance, acted like it wanted to really get going, get good continuation, and then just boom, absolutely just collapsed. Not only did it collapse down to this trend line here, broke down below there. Not only did it break down below this area of support, it actually got down below this next area down here at 130.150. Now, to be fair, the final 30 minutes, you can see the price has gotten back above that area. So I would now still consider 130.150 an area of support. But nonetheless, just a wild day. Hopefully anybody that was buying right there were using stop losses. If not, they're having a very rough day. But nonetheless, very nice bounce last 30 minutes here. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. So in the very near term, that purple line there, 50 period, going to be the key area of resistance right now, valid at 134.50. Yeah, you still have 136.30 up there as an area of resistance, but one hurdle at a time. And that first key hurdle definitely going to be that purple line right there. But if the price does come back down, then yes, you certainly do want to see it stay above the 130.150 mark. But all I can say is quite the dramatic day. But with that said, as I squeeze things out, overall the chart is still at very higher levels compared to it was not that long ago. I mean, it's still basically within this channel, which is way higher than where it was here, higher than where it was there, and so on and so forth. But yeah, today, individually, quite the roller coaster, but looking at multiple days here, the chart is still at much higher, a much higher consolidation area than where it was previously. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering very soon. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down below in the description area. Or if you're watching right at my website, there's an area on the webpage that you can use to sign up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free class. Next one, we are looking at BDSX and good solid pattern here. So let's just get this into play. Already talked about this pattern once, so I'm going to go through it a little bit quicker just so I can respect your time as much as possible. Now, the one maybe minor difference is I'm not going to use a lower trend line. I will just use that moving average right there, the pink line, as that lower trend line of the pattern. So let's just get the pattern drawn into place. So we have our area of resistance. We have our area of support. We have the big move up right there. We have the golf hole down here. So we have ourselves another bull pennant pattern. So if you like penny stocks, you like bull pennant patterns, keep an eye on it. Next one here, BBAI. And this is a little bit of a tricky chart to talk about because it's all about perspective. If you're a day trader, flipper, scalper, and you're buying up around there and your goal is to buy and sell within 5 minutes, well then yeah, from that angle, things are looking pretty rough, no doubt about that. But also to be fair, if you're a day trader, scalper, and you bought right there, well, you had a great move earlier on in the day. So I'm sure you had a very good day. But yeah, even with the pullback though, now taking a step back and looking at things from the bigger picture, everything is still fine. Yeah, not always the most exciting thing to see these pullbacks happen. But when you look at where the price has been previously, it's still at higher levels. And I think the easiest way to see that is just how the price is still nicely above that pink line, which you now know is the 200 period moving average. So from more of the broad sense standpoint, that 344 mark going to be the key level to watch. Just because, again, that's that 200 period. Ideally speaking, if you're saying, Clay, what would make this chart look the best moving forward? Certainly if the price can continue to stay above the purple line right there, which is at 368. But by no means would I call some 368 some sort of do or die level or anything like that. As far as areas of resistance are concerned, I think this is it, or did it go higher? Oh, wow, no, I wasn't even close. I thought these highs would be the same, so no. I'd say more so right around here at the 410 mark will be the main dynamic to keep an eye on. And I don't know, feel free to disagree with me, but this looks like starting the form of a big old cup and handle. There is the cup, there is the handle, Does this come up and get more continuation? Like I said, let me know in the comment section if you totally disagree with that. But I'm seeing at least a general vibe of a potential cup and handle pattern. So if you do agree that this is a cup and handle and you like cup and handles, well, here you go. Next one here, LTRY. Very, very impressive day today. And as I speak, it's essentially, I mean, is it about to go to new highs as I talk? Again, that's why I like to do these when the markets are open. But regardless, so let's just map out the key battleground right now where the price is doing battle right up here at that $1.71 mark. Now, the market is still open for another 4 minutes. So if you're watching this video and you're saying, wait a second, the price closed up above $1.71, well, that's just telling you that this movement here has gotten even better, which is a good thing. So it's already good regardless. But if the price is actually able to push up through there, then yeah, this current upwards move has gotten that much better. But first question will be, can the price break above $1.71? But if the price does break above it, then the next question becomes always the exciting one, where you get to ask, is this the start of something bigger? Which, when you stop and think about it, it makes so sense to ask that question if nothing worthwhile is even happening. But in this situation, something worthwhile would be happening, right? Because it would be breaking out. So therefore, it makes sense to say, hey, is this breakout the start of something even bigger? So keep an eye on that dynamic. If there is some sort of pullback, main area of support right down there around the $1.15 mark. But yeah, as of right now, you got to think that most eyes are watching $1.71. So we'll see if the price can push up through there. Next one here, MARA. And like, BBAI that I talked about, same general idea. It's all about perspective. If you're a scalper and you bought right here this morning, you got paid. If you're a scalper and you bought right there and you wanted to buy and sell within 7 minutes, hopefully you're using a stop loss because this thing rolled back over in a very nasty fashion. But when you take a step back and look at things from the overall standpoint, the chart is still very much so at higher levels. So when you just map, that's an old annotation, I'll get rid of that. But when you look at this current range and you compare it with this current range, not to insult your intelligence, but yes, this range is higher than that one. So from an overall trend building standpoint, that's what it's all about. You want to see those consolidation ranges get higher and higher, and that's what's still in play here. So yes, again, you don't really care about these consolidation ranges if you're a day trader that bought right there. But like I said, I'm trying to talk about this from more of the bigger picture standpoint. So zooming back in here in terms of levels of support, does seem to be an area right here of a trend line kind of support area. So keep an eye on that. But even if this area does not quite hold up, then you do have that pink line down there, the 200 period. Now, if the price were to go down to the 200 period and crash down below there, that's where things start to get sketchy, starts to get a little worrisome. But as of right now, the price isn't anywhere close to that pink line. Resistance-wise, yes, in the very near term, price has got to get back above that purple line there at 16.20. And then you can start to more put focus up here around the $17 mark. But really no point in paying attention to any of this right now until the price can first prove itself by getting back above that area right there. So very, very volatile day, but big picture-wise, the overall chart still perfectly fine. Next one here, TSLA Tesla, and we are right at the bottom part of this bigger range here. So I don't want to say do or die, but within, at least as far as the past several days are concerned, a pretty important level because it is holding strong right now at the bottom part of the range, as it's done several times before. But if the price does break down through here, again, no guarantees, but I don't think anybody would be shocked to see this thing drift down and at least retest that 200 period simple moving average. Again, not guaranteed to happen, but when you look back through the chart, there just really isn't any other areas of support. So in my mind, it becomes a valid scenario to think that the price very well could be headed down to that area if it does get a higher volume break. But again, to be fair, so far so good. It is holding strong here at the 334.65 mark, but any sort of further confirmation or further push down through that level would be additional confirmation that it's officially been broken. And that's where you could start to see some more sellers step in and, as it enters into kind of this little miniature kind of abyss here on the chart. Now, if the price does all of a sudden get the bounce back up off of this lower range, then yeah, you still have the upper part of the channel there at 352.50. But before you put too much focus on that, you'd want to first see if the price can break above that purple line there at the 50 period moving average. But yes, I think the key dynamic right now, key priority is just what's going to happen here. Are the bears going to win out and get more separation, or is it at least going to maintain it and bounce up above there? So yeah, 334.65. Got to think a lot of people are going to be watching that level on Thursday. So that wraps up the top 10 list. Again, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more about the tool, then definitely get signed up for the free class. It'll be very soon, Thursday, May 22nd at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So I hope to see you there. And then as far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy these, make sure you hit that like button. And if you're not yet a subscriber, make sure you subscribe, turn on that notifications. I have been going live, so if you want to be notified when I am on the live stream, want to see me trade, come ask me questions, or just come hang out, then like I said, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so you know that when I am, when I do go live. So thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. And again, if you enjoy, make sure you hit that like button and make sure you get signed up for the free class.